Convening, Volunteer Engagement for Changing Communities. We're so glad that you've chosen to participate this week. We have several people we would like to welcome you, and then I'll provide some quick information about Volunteer Florida, as well as navigating the event platform that you're currently using. And so with that, I'd like to introduce you to Clay Ingram, CEO of Volunteer Florida.
Good morning. This is Clay Ingram. I'm the CEO at Volunteer Florida. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today and welcome you to the first ever Volunteer Florida Leadership Convening. Volunteering and the need for volunteers has the ability to transform our communities in Florida. There's not a not-for-profit in the state that can operate without volunteers. And so not-for-profits having the ability, the skill set to engage volunteers at a higher level is critical for the success of not-for-profits in our state. And again, has the ability to transform communities in the state of Florida. And so again, I want to thank you for being a part of this. It's very special. It's something I think you're going to get a lot out of. We have some amazing presenters, some panelists that are out of this world, and we'll have the chance to interact and share with each other. And there's nothing quite like sharing best practices and interacting with one another and having the ability to share information and ideas. And so I'm very excited about that. Something else that you're going to hear a lot about, and you may already be engaged in this, but something that we've launched last November, we launched it with the First Lady of the state of Florida, Casey DeSantis, and that's Volunteer Connect. And it's the state's official portal that takes volunteer opportunities and teams them up with people that want to engage in those volunteer opportunities. And as powerful as this tool is and can be, it's limited by folks that sign up and put opportunities on the portal. So you're going to hear a lot about it. If your opportunities in your organization are not already loaded onto the portal, onto Volunteer Connect, onto this platform, take the time to do it and learn about it. It's very powerful on the back end standpoint as well. It can give your organization the ability to manage volunteers and do a whole lot with regard to really fine tuning the way that you bring people in and use volunteer help virtually or in person and across the board. So again, so happy that you're here with us and a part of this. And we couldn't be more thrilled to have you. Also want to welcome the Volunteer Generation Fund, folks that are with us over the next couple of days. Glad to have you, and the Volunteer Generation Fund's an important tool that the state of Florida uses to grow the ability for organizations to capacity build for skilled volunteers. So we're happy to have you with us as well. And now it's an absolute pleasure. Two people that have been so good to our agency and really understand the need for volunteers and what volunteers can do for Florida are Governor DeSantis and First Lady DeSantis. And so it's such a pleasure to have First Lady Casey DeSantis with us today to welcome you all and to talk a little bit about how critical all of you are and your organizations and what you do for the state of Florida is, and to have you with us today. So it's an absolute pleasure to introduce the First Lady of the state of Florida, Casey DeSantis.
Hi, I'm First Lady Casey DeSantis, and I'm pleased to welcome you all this morning to Volunteer Florida's first ever Volunteer Leadership Convening. The governor and I believe that service is such an incredibly important part of what makes Florida's communities safer, stronger, and healthier. The spirit of service in our state has never been stronger than it is now. Our communities faced challenges this year. Floridians from across the Sunshine State came together to serve. From organizations like Seniors on a Mission in Jacksonville, who shifted their service model in March to continue effectively serving our seniors. During a 3-week span, volunteers delivered over 13,000 meals to 6 HUD senior living facilities. In Miami, AmeriCorps members with Santro Campesino worked to distribute food to over 500 families facing food insecurity. And across the state, individuals have turned to Florida's official volunteer platform, Volunteer Connect, for ways to safely serve their community, including virtual volunteer opportunities. Behind these projects and hundreds of others across the state is you, the volunteer engagement leader. Volunteer engagement leaders are skillful in adapting to new circumstances, understanding the evolving needs of our state, and continuing to mobilize Floridians to serve. While serving on the front lines, our state's volunteers leaders, they have been making Florida a better place to live. As a mother of 3 children, I am constantly reminded of how the impacts of today weigh heavily on future generations. By serving and volunteering in our communities, we are not only helping the people of today, we are inspiring a whole new generation to serve. A generation that will face some of the same challenges that we are facing today and some new ones. That is why I am excited that you are joining the conversation. And over the next 3 days, you will hear from the volunteer experts from across the country discussing important topics from mental health awareness to virtual volunteerism and emergency management. It is my hope that you take away from this convening the knowledge and power to not only inspire a new generation of volunteers, but yourselves. Thank you for your work to serve Florida. It is an honor to work alongside with you and with you as we make our communities the best that they can be today, tomorrow, and for future Floridians to come. God bless.
We're so thankful for the First Lady's support and her genuine understanding of the centrality of service. I'd like to introduce one more individual to you. This is Miss Carrie Ann Schultz, and she is the chair of the Volunteer Florida Commission.
Good morning, everyone. I am Carrie Ann Schultz, and I have the honor of serving as the chair of Volunteer Florida Commission. Volunteer Florida is the state's lead agency for volunteerism and service. Our agency exists to administer national service, promote disaster resiliency, and most importantly, endorse volunteerism as a solution to our community's most pressing issues. Every year, millions of volunteer hours are served in Florida's communities, from our schools to our environment and everything in between. Volunteers are a vital part of our everyday lives, making our state safer, stronger, and healthier. We all know that 2020 has brought its challenges, from the coronavirus pandemic to natural disasters like Hurricane Sally, which hit my hometown of Gulf Breeze, Florida. 2020 has also marked the first year of a new decade that promises to bring so much innovation and discovery. As we look ahead, what does volunteerism look like this year and in the years to come? How can we ensure that our ideas of service continue to fit our ever-changing communities? And how can we make sure that our millions of Florida residents and counting understand the importance of volunteerism? Over the next 3 days, volunteer engagement managers, state leaders, and experts from across the United States will gather on this platform to discuss important topics that will move our state closer to understanding the answers to all these important questions. It is my absolute joy to welcome you all to the 2020 Volunteer Leadership Virtual Convening presented by Volunteer Florida. Thank you for your work to serve Florida. I hope you enjoy.
And thank you to Chair Carrie Ann Schultz for that wonderful welcome. I want to personally thank you for the tremendous work that you each do mobilizing volunteers to strengthen our social fabric and meet essential needs. We've selected sessions for the next several days that we believe will be most helpful for you as you navigate the societal changes we have and will continue to experience. We've also provided sessions that reinforce the volunteer management foundations of your work. Now, there may be some of you who are not quite familiar with Volunteer Florida's work. So briefly, I'd like to share about our organization. We're the governor's lead agency for volunteerism and national service. We're also the lead agency for volunteers and donations before, during, and after disasters. And our vision is to see Floridians engaged, communities transformed, and Florida becoming a better and better place to live. Now, when we talk about national service, we're primarily referring to AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps programs support local community efforts to address education, environmental stewardship, disaster services, veteran services, and other human needs. AmeriCorps members have a tremendous impact across our state, and we hope you want to learn more about whether AmeriCorps funding might be right for you or your organization and community. You can browse our website under National Service for more information. CEO Ingram and First Lady DeSantis both mentioned Volunteer Connect. Many of your organizations have already registered, and a lot of you have heard about it, but we hope that all of you will register. The platform provides nonprofits and government entities with a variety of volunteer management features for posting, scheduling, and communicating with volunteers. Volunteers connect to opportunities through that same platform. We believe that more visibility means more volunteers. So in addition to your other recruitment methods, we encourage you to post your volunteer positions on Volunteer Connect as well. Our emergency management department is the state emergency response team's support function for volunteers and donations. They coordinate with a variety of organizations to meet volunteer and donation needs, administer Florida Disaster Fund grants, and the CERT program, which is the Community Emergency Response Team program. They manage disaster case management and do dozens of trainings and presentations across the state. Volunteer Florida, whether through training, grants, or other support, is a resource for you. Information about national service, Volunteer Connect, emergency management, and more are all available, all of that information, on our website at www.volunteerflorida.org. You can sign up for any of our several newsletters as well. The option is in the top right corner of our website. And we would love for you to be able to learn more about what we have going on during the year. And there are so many opportunities for organizations. So a few points for you to remember over the next several days. You all have obviously logged into the event platform if you're here. And we call this area the lobby that you see. When you click on meeting rooms, that pillar that says meeting rooms, you'll come to this page, which provides all of the information you need. At the top, you will see a red badge. If there are any announcements, you'll see that arrow at the very top. On the left-hand side, you can see there that there's an information section. It's second from the bottom. If we need to share any additional details with you, we will announce them, and then they can be found there. So you'll see the red badge at the top. The announcement may in and of itself have all the information, or we may ask you to go to the information section for more detail. When you click on event on the left-hand side, you'll see the agenda, which many of you probably scanned through this morning. You'll see the speakers and additional menu items there. Just keep in mind that you can attend any session that you wish. You are not limited to what you registered for. And you can kind of create a schedule for yourself for your own benefit by going to View My Schedule. And then that way you can kind of organize how you want the next several days to go. If you need help navigating the platform, at the bottom right-hand corner, you can click on the support link, and somebody with the platform vendor, Bravura, will assist you. If you have an issue somehow with your registration, you can email volunteer@volunteerflorida.org, and we'll respond to you as soon as we can. Most of your questions at this point will probably be about navigating the platform, and so the Bravura support may be best for you. A quick note that the times on the agenda adjust to the time zone that your computer uses. So for those of you in your Central Standard Time Zone, you'll be able to see all of your sessions in Central Standard Time if you are in that area. Another quick note, Here you'll see where all of the session information is. When you click on one of the sessions in the agenda, this is the kind of page you'll come to. It'll provide you with the date and time, a summary. You'll also be able to click on speakers and on any documents that that particular speaker may have for their presentation. There are some handouts that may not be available until during the session or until after their session. And then we have a few speakers who may not have any handouts at all. But if they do have them available right now, you'll see that here. And you're welcome to download that and again, browse the speaker bios. And as you participate in the convening, we hope that you will complete the surveys about the sessions that you attend. So you'll see here under event that that's where the surveys are. You'll see a tab, I believe it just says general sessions. And the links to session-specific surveys will be available in sessions as well. Your feedback is really important to us. So after you have finished a session, if you go to that surveys section, you'll see an opportunity to complete the survey for that session. That survey will only be available for that day. So once the session starts, the survey becomes available, and then it will no longer be available after about 8 p.m. that evening. So we want to get your feedback when it's fresh in your brain. So we hope that you will share that information with us. And we are only asking a few very short questions. So it'll be a quick evaluation for you. Before we finish up this morning, I'd like to remind you about our 2 special sessions. We have our volunteer engagement roundtable tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 3 really engaging panelists, and they're representing Duke Energy Foundation, Merit, and the Center for Leadership and Social Change at Florida State University. I hope you'll join us for that. And then we also have our fantastic keynote speaker, President and CEO of the Points of Light Foundation, Natalie Paquin. And this will be on Thursday at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think you'll be really, really inspired by her comments. And we do have a Q&A to follow afterwards. So at any time during the presentation, feel free to enter questions that you might have. And then we'll try to get to as many as we can at the end. But this will be a wonderful way for us to finish the convening is with just a really dynamic speaker like Ms. Paquin. So right now, I'm hoping that you'll take some time to become familiar with the platform, become familiar with the sessions and the speakers or any of the handouts that might be of interest to you. Maybe browse volunteerflorida.org if you have an interest. Our first session is going to begin at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're really looking forward to each of our speakers, to the great material that they're going to present, and for the experiences that you all will have over the next several days. So we really, really thank you for your participation. And we hope that you just have a wonderful time learning about these varying topics. Thank you so much.